Vietnam, from Kuching, from Vietnam, from Indonesia, from Thailand. Welcome and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Now, before we begin, I've got a very, very special announcement to make. Today is a very special day for someone in this room. Today is the birthday of our dear Charles Lee. Everyone, wish him a very happy birthday. He just turned, okay, I won't tell you how old is he right now, but you ask him if he wants to tell you. It's his birthday today, and he's taking that birthday day, special day, to spend with all of us. So Charles, happy birthday, Charles. Okay. Let's get back to business. There are almost 300 people already right now. Yeah, keep on asking, wishing him happy birthday. Send him a note, send him a flower or whatever you want to send him. Before we begin, I just wanted to remind you, one of our colleagues, I was just on the phone, text message with him, Victor Wong, he's our Chief Culture Officer. He's right now in Kuang. I just texted him yesterday night because I saw there was an order to lock down a particular small area in Simpang Renggam, and that area is locked down right now. The army apparently have taken over that location, and it's locked down, and nobody's allowed to enter and leave. I just gave him a call to ask him whether is he affected. So he's not affecting his location. By the way, he's also just recovering from a pneumonia and dengue. Thank God he did not have that COVID-19. He just came out of the hospital a few days ago. For some of you who know Victor Wong, if you know him, I encourage you to send a message to him and just text him and just wish him well, so that he knows that his family here at Refill is caring for him as well. So I just want you to do that. Those who know Victor Wong, just send him a personal text message. Tell him that we are with him and we are thinking about him at the time of his recovery from pneumonia. Okay, great. We have 297 people. Let's start. Now, how many of you remember this book, Shift, that I showed you yesterday? This is the book that you absolutely need to have. Now, a lot of this content, it's really focusing on best-selling books like Shift and the Amari. And someone was asking me, it sounds so simple. How is this helping my business? I've got news for you. It is actually very simple. Simple things are actually necessary. If you want to be successful in life, be good at doing simple things. But somehow, inevitably, human beings try to make things complicated. But it is the simple things that work. It is the boring things that work consistently. An iPhone looks very boring, but once you open it up, it is not simple, right? So I'm just saying that some of the simple things that we do is necessary for us to do our business. But today I want to focus on shift, and our first topic is tactic 1. So, but before I go into that tactic 1, I want to give you an overview. What does it mean by a shift? Is that okay? Okay, yeah, 300 people. Well done. Now, if you are in the shift book, you can turn with me to page 14 in shift. Page 14 start to talk about this concept of the equilibrium of the market. Now, how many of you are economics students here? Okay, if you're an economics student, you should know what's the equilibrium. Equilibrium is when the market comes to a middle ground, right? When the buyers, when supply is high and demand is low, price goes down. When supply is low, demand is high, price goes up. But when supply and demand comes and meet at a point, we call that an equilibrium. That's the basic concept of an economic concept called equilibrium, right? Where it hits in between. Now, in a shift or a shift in the real estate market, what's that equilibrium like? Now, I'm going to draw a chart here. You can see my chart, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes, John. Okay.
Yes, right. Okay. This is time. Now, I will leave time undefined right now. Okay. Okay, this is what we call the chart available income. Now, so in our real estate business, this is all the income that's available right now. As the market climbs, right, that's where the income increases, where people are buying, people are selling, there's more transaction, there's more trading going on. So this is where the income is increasing here right now, right? And then the other part is when income increase, meaning when transaction, so income comes from transaction, right? Comes from how many buyers, there are more buyers, there are more sellers going on here, there are a lot of transactions going on here. Therefore, the income available for the agent is there. When there are a lot of transactions, when the market is hot, what happens? There is also another line called the number of agents increase. So this is where the agent count in the market increase. Following me so far?
John, just pause for 1 second. Can you just move the board to face the camera a little bit more? No, as in your board, yeah, because it's kind of facing the angle. Yes, correct. That's what I meant. Thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
just so someone was asking if I could show the book again. This is the book. It's called Shift by Gary Keller. It is a New York Times bestseller. By the way, just a disclaimer, it is not written by me, it's written by Gary Keller, the founder of KW International, Real Estate International, the largest organization in the world right now for real estate agents, 180,000 agents, okay? So you want to listen to people who sell books or who publish books that is what you call a New York bestseller, right? So it's not a Malaysian author or it's not a Malaysian thinking, it's a very global perspective or global point of view. So let's go back to the quote. So when there is a lot of income, a lot of transaction going on, the agent count will traditionally increase, right? So people will start saying, hey, I want to join real estate, I want to become an agent, because everybody is making money. So this is where you go online, you start seeing people posting their BMW, their Mercedes Benz, their watches and all that, right? Because everybody wants to join that kind of industry. Okay, now, something happened here that will affect transaction, right? So today, right now, what are we in right now? We have COVID-19. We also, before COVID-19, we did have some political scenario that's going on in the background. That has not been sorted out yet, right? But that's kind of like in limbo, but the COVID-19 kind of take over everything. And this is world events. This is something that's happening around the world that you and I cannot control. You and I cannot control this too much as well. It affects the transaction. Now, this is the reason why there suddenly is a shift, right? So when the transaction shifts, so does the agent count shift. Does that make sense so far? And this is where potentially we want to talk about. Because this is where the shift happens. And today the shift is very fast. Very, very fast. You look at the stock market, in that 1 week, how many percent did the stock market lose? In that 1 or 2 weeks, oil price dropped from $60 to $20 right now. So that's the shift that's happening. The shift is in the fact of what's happening that affected the transaction. Following me so far? Any questions? Now, what will happen then is this. At this shift, when transactions are coming down, so would agent count. Right? Suddenly you will see a lot of agent count dropping. You will see that some agents will not survive this shift. That's the reality. That's the reality, that some agents will not survive this shift. And it is imperative right now, in order for you to survive this time, this shift, before this takes off again, right? This is where it goes up again, if you don't know when, but this is the time we are in right now. We are here already. You know that the basic stance for recession, technical recession happens when there are 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. Even before that is recorded, this is already happening. If you don't believe me, figure out why the banks are now giving us moratorium on loans. Because they are looking for more liquidity in the market. When there is no liquidity in the market, meaning there's no cash floating in the market transacting, right? You will be in a standstill. People will have no money to buy food. You will have riots. So that's what the government is trying to do, lowering interest rate, freezing the moratorium to flow so that you and I still have some cash flow to flow around to pay our bills, necessity bills. So some of these things, like our house payments, our car payments, can now be delayed because we need to work on this shift right now, right? So this is what's going to happen. Now, the goal is this. In order for you to work on this shift, you cannot be doing things here. This is the past. This is now the present. If you're using what you did in the past to do in the present right now, tell me, how many of you think that you'll be successful? Okay, if you're going to focus on this present right now with using the past, how many of you will be successful? If you think you're going to be successful working with the strategies and the techniques in the past, say yes. If you think you're going to be successful, if you're not going to be successful, say no. Someone say, I will be dead. Absolutely. So you got to change the perspective. You got to change how you behave in this current market. We shifted as an organization. We feel we are believing and we are behaving as if we are here right now. That's why we are changing this thing even in the MCO time block. We are not waiting for MCO to be finished. We are already strategizing, we are already thinking, and we are already behaving as if we are inside here right now. There are certain things in our mental level we are thinking about to deploy and to do to make sure that we survive here. That makes sense? We must survive here. This is the survival time. Got it? So what happens when there is a shift is there must be certain tactical change to how we do our business. Now in the book shift, there are 12 tactics, but today we want to go over the first tactic, which is the mindset tactic. Now, if you don't change your mind, if you're still thinking here, you cannot be thinking here. Then whatever you're doing here wouldn't work here right now. It won't work anymore, right? What has happened, there's another chart. If you go to page 15 in the, what do you call that? The shift book. If you go to page 15, this is what's going to happen. This was the past. And this is your business. Perhaps your market share here is 20%. During the peak of the market, right, you were doing 20% of the market share. Does that make sense? After that, maybe now you are here at 33%. This is probably 1-2 years ago. This is probably in 2013, 2014, when you see that that was the peak of the market. Our house price index in Malaysia in 2013 was peaking at about 14-15%, 13% to 14% average house price increase price that year. It was probably the highest peak of the history of our house price index in terms of price growth, right? And it's tapering down, right? This is where we are at maybe 40%. Sorry, forgive me for drawing. My drawing is not very good. So assuming it's not there, it's somewhere here. So this is 40%. So meaning, if you want to be in business and stay in business right now, the market has shifted down. There is lesser transaction. If you're only doing the way you're doing, that's giving you 20% market share in your market right now, you've got to go out there and fight for that market share of 40%. Does that make sense? If you just only focus on that 20% listings in that whole area right now, you have to go back into the location and start focusing on 40% of the listings because these are the ones that will give you the transaction. We're going to read page 15 and will tell you how do you fight that this business. The way to do this right now is to focus on getting market share. Market share. Market share means you've got to go in there and fight for that market share because there's not enough transaction for everyone right now. You've got to go in there and fight and grab that market share. Right, so we're going to go through some tactics. There are 12 tactics in how are we going to fight the market share. Does that make sense so far? Is there any questions about shift right now? Any ahas? Anybody got any ahas? Any questions? Any ahas? Okay, you're still following.
John.
Yeah.
Just to that, one way to to increase your market share in a downshift is to at least fight to maintain your volume of transactions.
Yeah. Meaning you've got to increase your volume. If you want to fight, you have to even increase, because you know why? What's going to happen in a shift? There will be people who are more aggressive in the market. In this market here, everyone is just doing whatever the minimum they are hitting certain things already. But in this market, you suddenly see a lot of hungry people. So therefore, at that point in time, you will see if you are only doing the way they're doing it here, you begin to lose. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just that you didn't do anything more. Does that make sense? So you've got to think about how do you do more right now. Like we used to do training once a week, twice a week. Now we're training every day, 3 times, 4 times. Why? Because we're going to do more to help everyone to get into the market, to start increasing their production. And productivity means speaking to more people, talking to more people, getting more listings, putting up more calls to bring more opportunity to buyers. So there are 12 tactics to look into that. How do you do more right now? Are you hungry enough? Absolutely good question, Evelyn. If you are not hungry enough, it's someone else is going to be hungrier than you. Because everyone is fighting to survive. Can you imagine if today, let's just imagine right now, if you're in that village trapped in Kuang, and there's only food for 20 people, but there's 40 people there, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? That's something to think about. That's something to think about, right? Then how would that be? That's exactly what will be happening in this market right now. And this is a market where there will be new heroes. When people are fighting for market share, suddenly you will see some people rising up. And it doesn't matter. It is not discriminatory to age, race, belief system, or even how experienced you are or how good you are. If you don't shift along with this market, you will shift downwards. It doesn't matter how good you are, what you know, what you don't know. Because someone who is hungrier will figure out a way and they will go up. And I hope it's you and I today in this group right now. I hope it's you and I in this group right now moving towards that direction, because that hunger will bring people to do things that they never had thought they could do before. In the crisis, Gary Keller says this: in the darkest moment will rise our finest hour. There will be many heroes like that. There will be many people like that. And if you and I are not in that category thinking about being there, we will get knocked down, right? Does that answer your question, William?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. Any other ahas, any questions right now? Shape out or ship out, you're absolutely right. This is the fun. You need to understand where we are right now. Basically, this is where we are. Now, are we here yet? Maybe in these few months, not yet. But if you don't think like this, you don't start behaving like this, you cannot be ahead of the rest. Give you an example here right now. Give you an example. Our whole regional team in Keller, Malaysia, was planning a lot of training programs for the next 2 months. This is before the MCO lockdown, before things got serious. And about one day when we sensed that something is going to happen, we decided to move everything virtually. And by the way, this is the first time we are doing training virtually. Now, did you guys learn something yesterday and today? Yes?
Yeah.
Now, I cannot wait to see what's the best practice to learn how to do virtual training. I cannot wait. In fact, I've got to set up my whole living hall here with all my gears. I actually moved all our gears from our training room in Damansara, Perdana, where is our HQ, where we move all the cameras and everything inside here to shift the way we want to do this, because we cannot wait already. We've got to go in and be aggressive right now. Right? So that's an example. As a leadership of the group, I am trying to help everyone to see that we are role modeling for you, that we are not waiting for things to be perfect. We are just taking action right now and making sure we can do what we can. And we're going to get better at what we do every single day, because we are failing forward, we are learning new things. So suddenly we are experts in creating virtual training. I think, would you agree with me if I do a virtual convention in real estate, we qualify right now? There you go. But it requires us to take that step to know, to understand that we need to behave in that realm like this. Because the normal thing could have happened. I could have said, hey, you know what? Let's just rest. Let's just rest for 14 days, and whatever happens, we just come back again. Who's going to read anymore? Who's going to come for training? Who's going to be interested in real estate? But I could have taken that step. We could have taken the step in the leadership, but we didn't because we believe in shift. And we were all coached by Keller and his leadership team. The minute we were in this condition, I was on a call with the leadership team from Austin, Texas, few night calls, and they were coaching us how to create this environment for our agents already. So we are not alone. We are together with all our 43 regions around the world. So that's where we are changing gears. So with that example, I hope you can see how you and I should be changing our gears and moving into that aggressive mode forward. And it's all about doing the simple things, not complicated things. It's about picking up the phone, calling the right person, the right purpose, and trying your best to support them and help them, right? Now, moving on. I wanted to give this opportunity to some of our trainers here to share or to teach the tactics in shift. Now, for this current season, we are talking about 3 key tactics. Number 1, the mindset tactic. Tactic 1. Number 2 is tactic 4, which we will cover on Monday. Tactic 1 is about the mindset. Tactic 4 is about lead generation with purpose. How do you find motivated buyers, motivated sellers? And tactic 7 is how do you price your property ahead of the market. So these are the things that, and how do you speak to your customer about pricing the property. So we will be going through a very in-depth need analysis, a very in-depth strategy and conversation. How can you have that kind of, what do you call that, conversation with clients to price the property. So I hope you join us for these 2 other sessions. Before that, I think I want to pass the time to William to go in depth into the first tactic, which is the mind over matters. William, are you on the call?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'm going to pass the time back to you. Everyone, welcome William.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let me put in my slides. Okay, so we're going to move on into shift 1, gaining mind over the market. Well, there's a saying, mind over matters, and this is mind over the market. Moving on to the next slide, give me a 1 minute. Let me move on to the next slide. All right, if you can hear me and you can see me, wave your hands. Let me see your hands. Wave to the camera. Let me see your hands. Wave it. Now wave it even more aggressively. Wave it even more aggressively. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. That would probably be your best exercise for this whole week. All right. Okay. Who is your biggest enemy at this time? It is definitely not the virus. It is definitely not a virus. It is the social media. The social media and the people the negative people around you that are giving you, creating all this negativity around, and these are your biggest enemy. Don't be caught up in it. All right. So that's on mental shift. So I need to put you in a proper perspective just to warn you, not to be carried away with all this social media thing that is coming through your WhatsApp or whatever other communications that you have. Sometimes in this kind of situations, people want to be a hero. They come out with all sorts of informations and claims of this and that. And most of the time, I call it a fake news. All right. So in your mind shift, in the mental shift, there are 3 types of people that will emerge from the market shift, right? One side of people will be the type that is fearfully predicting the worst. And these are the type of people, they say nothing much you can do, and they will react to you negatively and say, just sit back and type and wait out for the whole session to be over. The second type are the people that wish for the best and believe they can fail and unrealistically positive, right? So they will just wish for the best and may not do anything positive, all right? Okay, the third type of people would respect that they may fail, coming to face the reality of it. Prepare for the worst and strive for the best. Right? So these are the type of people, the third type of people that are always moving on and striving on, but yet facing the reality of it. So these are the three types of people that will emerge from the market shift. It can be your clients, can be agents themselves. All right? So let us, if you want to put ourselves in the right mindset, then we got to put ourselves in the right perspective for the market. So what's your market there in your market situation there now, right now? Now, of course, people are saying that the best thing to do is to sit out and wait out for the whole market to move on. Well, that's not necessarily the best thing to do. People always need to buy and sell. Now, in a downshift market, it is not going to be a zero transaction. That is for sure. There will be people wanting to buy and people wanting to sell. People need to buy because they need to buy. They are relocating. They need a bigger house, or they are downsizing or upsizing. So they need to buy. There will be people that need to buy. And in the downshift market, there will be people who want to sell. And so if for the past few weeks, we have been seeing our agents postings, new listings. So you can see that new listings are coming into the market. So there is not going to be a zero transaction kind of market, right? People will always buy. That's the kind of market perspective that you should have. So market always shift over time. What we're going to do, what we are looking now at is one of those cyclical property market cycle, right? It's a cyclical thing. And later on, I show you the chart in Malaysia. This cyclical thing, the moving in and out of the market is a normal thing, all right? But just that you need to be prepared for it, okay? So it's not the end of the world when the market is shifting down. Just to let you know, putting you in the right perspective, there will be transactions, there will be sales, there will be buyers, and there will be sellers, all right? So it's just a natural shift for the market. So in every change, there's an opportunity. I know I don't have to stress this anymore. You probably know and read a lot about finding opportunities in a change market or in a crisis. All right. So let me show you how you can look at the market. This is what you can find in the book Shift. Now, there are three types of market. One is a seller's market, where properties are available in the market, listings are available in the market for less than 5 months. So when the market is at its peak, when the market is very strong, properties get sold off very fast, right? So like what you heard from John just now, in Malaysia in 2013, that was a peak, and most of the properties were sold, in fact, less than sold within 3 months, right? And I have experience in the early 90s, at the peak of the property cycle, properties were sold in less than 2 months, sometimes even 1 month. So that's the seller's market. So in the balanced market, you will see the property are available here for about 5 to 7 months, right? Not very long, not very short. And in the buyer's market, you can see the properties are in the market for more than 7 months. In fact, I think we were in the buyer's market for the past 2-3 years. Properties were in the market for more than 7 months. And that was the kind of situation that we have. It is a buyer's market. In fact, it should have gone up very fast. By this year, I anticipated that it will start to turn up again. But it's been dragged on, and what the term called buyer's lag. That means buyers are taking their time to decide and buy, or waiting to see if the property market or prices are going down any further. So that is a drag, and that's why properties are hanging on in the market for more than 7 months. So that's the kind of buyer's market. So in every cycle, you will see seller's market, balanced market, and buyer's market. And right now we are in the buyer's market situation. So this is a chart for a property cycle in Malaysia. And you can see there are 3 dips, right? One in 87, and then one in 98. And there's another one here in 2000. 2008, yes. So you can see here, there's a small dip just before 2008. Now, this is not an internal factor. This is not a typical property cycle in Malaysia, but this dip is affected and caused by the global economic environment, which is this is the what they call it the .com collapse, right?
Hey, William, just to add that part, that's also when we had, I think, the post-September 11 attacks in New York.
Yeah.
And that was actually when the market was going through a major shift. Gary Keller and his team went in and wrote that book, The $1 Million Real Estate Agent, to kind of rally that model and system so that everyone can actually use those model systems to focus on getting their business in the market. That is why they realized that if they can codify the systems and models and get every agent to follow through that system, that's where they thrive again. So I think, and Keller Williams has a record. When Gary Keller started in 1987, it was a tough time. So they invented themselves again and again and again during all the shift in the market. So we are following that trend right now by learning from them how they have successfully done that over time and again. I was in the conversation with Gary a month ago in Dallas, and he was already preparing us for a shift. He was telling us, you are going to lose a lot of agents if you don't start practicing the shift tactics. He was very, very clear with us. If you don't go in there and whack that market share, you will lose market share. And when you lose market share, you will not gain market share. So his advice to us, if you gain market share right now, you will not lose it. But if you lose market share right now, you will never gain it back. And you will be dethroned from that location that you're working on. So he was very explicit. He was very, very explicit that this is the time for the next 2 years. He told us, you shouldn't be resting for the next 2 years. You should be working double down right now. He was already preparing us in Dallas about a month and a half ago before all this lockdown was happening. The one of the things he told us is to behave like you are in that downtime right now. And you will then become that champion in that downtime. Because if you wait for the downtime to happen and start moving in there, that's when we will lose our market share. So I just want to share that part uniquely in every single shift. In 2001, in 2009, 10, that was when the book Shift was written as well. So every shift in the market, Keller Williams have rose up and become stronger and stronger because they went in the shift and behaved like the shift before the shift really happened. Just want to share that.
All right, thank you, John. And so talking about that, taking that further, again, that will bring us back to the market share. And so that's why when you are on a downshift, you continue to work as hard as possible to keep your volume. And in that way, you are actually increasing your market share. So why is market share very important? Since we are on that, let me touch a bit on that. Because market share gives you dominance. It gives you influence on the market. And not only that, it makes you more competitive over your rivals or over your competitors. So market share is very important, and this is one of the strategy that you should use even as a solo agent, as an agent who has a team. You need to look into that. All right. So this is the cycle that we have, and you can see that's why they call it the cycle. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and so we are now looking at another cycle of a new cycle probably. All right. So to put you in another perspective, let me explain to you how you should be looking at the market. All right. So you can look at the market from the national perspective, from the city perspective, and also from the local perspective. Right. So in the national perspective, the market will be influenced by the macro level of the economy, right? So the economic growth, property market is very linked directly, very strongly linked to the economic, the strength of the economy of the country. So if the economy is strong, most likely the property market will be strong, all right? So this is one of the influencing factor on the property market. Of course, the other one will be inflation and then the interest rate. So we just got our Bank Negara revised down the interest rate just last month. And so it's a good move. Everybody is saying that it's a good move because in view of what's happening now, all right? Then you got to look at the metro level, which is influenced by the population, right? So if you have population growth, you have migration, and this will influence the property market. Of course, employment, where people have a job, they can afford to keep the house and or buy a house, that will influence the property market, as well as the household income, right? Again, household income is very important, which is one of the factors that will influence the property market at the metro level. So on a micro level, you need to look at the neighborhood, all right? What are the dynamics of the neighborhood? Some areas would have factories that will bring in a lot of workers, and that will increase the population and demand for properties. Excuse me. And so what are the dynamics there, economic dynamics that you can say that is influencing the property market there? And then of course, property conditions of the market, the demand supply situation, whether it is the condition of the house, some aging properties there, and which may not bring in or attract buyers. And lastly, the home prices in the micro level will influence the property market there. So this chart will give you a better perspective of what kind of market that you should be looking at, and what are the factors that are influencing the property market. All right. So what are buyers and sellers thinking? This is what you need to know, because by now, buyers and sellers thinking will be different from what it was 6 months ago or even 1 year ago, right? That's why you got to change your strategy, because your buyers and sellers are changing their thinking, changing their behavior, changing their mindset, all right? So when you want to look at buyers and sellers thinking, one of the areas that you need to look at is the role of the media, all right? Again, social media will not give you any benefits. Social media will only give you what they call twisted facts, fake news. I wouldn't rely on that. I would rely on the mainstream media, where they are talking about facts and figures, where they give you statistics, where they get the experts to give you those information. All right. So don't dismiss all those media. Just read them with a critical mind, and be aware of what is floating around in the media, because this is what your buyers and sellers are reading as well. All right. So you probably have those kind of buyers and sellers coming to you, giving you some kind of reaction and reflecting what they have read in the media. And I can tell you, from now on, you will see a lot of negativity in the media. All right. But some can be true, some can be not true. You have got to look at it critically. So what is the seller's belief? Inflated sense of value. Again, most of the time, sellers take some time to come to reality. All right. So they will be thinking, they will be still holding on to the kind of value that the property is holding. All right. So can't sell for what they need to or want. And these are the kind of situations that the sellers will be facing. They may not be able to get the kind of prices that they want, and therefore a lot of frustrations there, sometimes even anger, and you have to be prepared for that. If they can't afford to make the payment, and they will lose the house to foreclosure. So there could be situations like that, and of course, if you can help them, they'll be more than happy to give you the listings where if you can help them find a buyer. So these are the kind of situations that we can be seeing from the seller's side. So what about buyers? Buyers may values may continue to go down. That's what they say. Oh, we can wait. We will wait for the property prices to go down further, which may not be so. All right. Our property prices in Malaysia has been on the decline, on the decline for the past three years. So it has probably come to a bottom up already. So it is probably a good time, a good opportunity to now go in to buy. All right.
Hey, can I add something here, William? Can I add something here? Okay, I think one of the key things to think about in terms of what the buyers and sellers is to not focus on what's the value, how is the value coming. It's to now focus on, hey, do I need to sell? Because it's not about valuation anymore. It's about I need to sell because I could be losing my job, or I could have an opportunity to upgrade, upsize my property right now. I bought this property maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I've inherited this property, especially in those old areas like in PJ. I've inherited all these properties from my family, and maybe it's time for me to sell it to because there's an opportunity to buy cheaper products or cheaper houses, for good houses at the cheaper price in a different location that I want to. It could be that. So basically, I think one of the key things for us to have this thinking about for the buyers and sellers is not to lead them towards how the property value is coming or going. We that's the science part of it, but the emotional part of it right now, the perspective is, do I need to sell? Do I need to buy? And if you need to buy and if you need to sell, why? Right? Go into that conversation with them and find the motivated buyer, motivated seller. Right? That's the critical thing that we need to think about. I see so many agents focusing on data alone. It's not wrong, but you need to go deeper. You need to understand that human being behind this purpose of them buying. So I see many agents where they don't focus on how to understand the buyer, right? And that's something we'll talk about in the next session, how to lead generate and find the right buyers by doing a lead need analysis on Monday. But I just want to bring this perspective here that yes, we are at a downturn right now in terms of the value of property. There is a good decline in property prices right now, and you will never know what's the bottom until the market recovers. So here's a script I will give you right now to talk to your buyers. So, Mr. Buyer, are you interested to buy something that is 20% or 25% below market value? There was 25% below market value where the market value was 2 or 3 years ago at that value. Would you be interested? That's the kind of script that you need to have when you have a conversation with your buyers. Then suddenly what the buyer will think, hey, this agent is interested to look for opportunity for us, which is absolutely what you should be doing right now. Right? That's the perspective of where the buyers are right now, because they're all looking for a good deal. But if you go to the buyer and you tell them, Mr. Buyer, price is coming down the worst price already right now. Would you want to buy right now? They wouldn't know, right? They wouldn't know. And they would think that, hey, I don't think it's the worst price right now. I think it's going to go down some more. But when you go to them and you tell them, hey, are you looking for something 20 to 25% below market value where the market value was this level 2 years ago? Would you be interested to explore this opportunity? That's the script you need to have with your buyers, right? So does that make sense so far? So I think most agents here today, you got to think about the script that you need to be talking to your client. So that's the script that I just gave all of you. If you understand this way of conversation with your buyers and you have intention to find them good deals right now, then you have value to the marketplace. Most agents, most buyers and sellers, you know, one of the things that they will think about what agents are doing right now, they would not expect this from an agent. Because their expectation from an agent is very low, they will think that agents will just want to make money and sell their properties, which is not wrong, right? So you got to flip the coin and change the expectation and suddenly, oh, you mean you are interested for me to help me find a good opportunity right now? That's what you need to do. And then you go and find deep down and come for Monday's course so that on Monday we will train you how to have those conversations. So sorry, back to you, William. I just thought I want to use this opportunity to kind of put people in perspective right now.
All right, thank you, John. So what John was saying just now is that you go back to the motivation of the seller and the buyer, right? Why they come into the market in the first place? It is not definitely only about price, right? There's a reason behind, the motivation behind. And so that's what you need to get back on with the buyers and the sellers. Okay. So at this time, buyers will always think that there's a lot of time and plenty of time to look and buy. So sometimes they may be delaying in their decision making. So this is what you can tell them. Whatever information that they have that makes them decide that this is a good time to come into the market to look into the properties, this kind of same information is now available to thousands of other buyers. And so thousands of other buyers would think like him and finding this time to come into the market. So he may think that he's the only guy who is in the market looking for property and deciding to buy and can take his own sweet time to buy. Not necessarily so, right? Nowadays with the internet, information is available to everybody, all right? So it is not a time for him to wait. It is a time for him to make a decision, all right? So this is how you handle those buyers who think that they have a lot of time. Sellers will take almost any offer. So this is what the buyers believe, that sellers will always almost take any offer. Not necessarily so. They may come in with this kind of mindset, but it is not necessary that the seller is willing to take a dirt cheap kind of offer. I've had one experience where I went into a meeting with one of my agents who has got a buyer. The prices has been agreed upon over the phone. They came to the office and the buyer came with a lawyer. And the lawyer offered a lower price than was agreed upon earlier. So after some negotiation, I said, your offer is very low. He says, well, that's a market. That's the seller will have to take it. I told the agent to make a call to the seller, told him about the situation, and tell the seller we can find him a better buyer. And we came back into the meeting room. I told the seller and his lawyer, I said, very sorry, the seller has decided to call off this negotiation. You know what happened? The lawyer looked at me with his jaw dropped. He thought this is the kind of situation where all sellers would take almost any offer, which is not true. So you got to handle that, and you let them know that it is they are what, and show you the facts. You know, the facts and figures speaks for itself, and the offers that are coming in speaks for itself.
Hey, William, I want to add one more thing here. This is where I think most agents will hit a pitfall when they are too desperate to close the deal. Now, all of us are desperate to close the deal. It's not wrong to feel that way. All of us in this season, if there's any deal, we'll try to work our hearts out to get the deal done. But I want to always, this is a mindset I always train our agents here right now. I want to say this again and again. When you enter a negotiation between a buyer and the seller, if the deal doesn't go through, who loses more? The owner will lose the opportunity to sell the property that is valued at how much? Maybe the property is 1 million. And the buyers have opportunity to buy this property at 1 million. And the agent is earning a commission of 20,000. Who is losing more money on the table right now? Think about that. Anyone? Please go to the chat box. Who is losing money right now? More money right now? Both parties are potentially losing the money. The agent has opportunity to make 20,000 again from another deal. And bear in mind right now, when you enter into that negotiation, you did not pay a single cent to enter into that negotiation. If you walk away from the negotiation, you did not lose a single cent. When you come with that mindset in negotiation, I've been through so much negotiation in my journey of real estate. This is one mindset I think most agents must be prepared to walk away. The minute the person is willing to walk away, he is actually in a winning position. I repeat, the minute when you are willing to walk away from the negotiation table, you are in a better position to negotiate because you are stronger. You are willing to let go and move on to do something else. When those parties are not willing to move on because why? They need to sell. Right? So this is where you guys need to think about when you are entering the negotiation. Take your time. This is the time where time will become a weapon to convince people to make decisions, because time is something people cannot wait, or some people has lesser ability to withstand that pressure of indecisiveness. This is where you put time and you wait. So if your mindset is not to think about there are many deals, if you have many opportunities right now, you will be a stronger agent in terms of your mindset because you know you can walk away and work on something else. Right? So you've got to think about this in this season. How you behave will also determine how the deal goes through. Do not be desperate to show off that you will do your best to push one side to come. Your goal is not to be a postman, right? Your goal is to bring the best deal for both parties to walk away. buying this property satisfyingly. Okay, so these are some of the things that I train agents. The way that when you walk away, you actually have the upper hand. You actually, but don't walk away by not doing anything, right? Do your part, but be prepared to say, let's take a pause. Why don't you go back and rest? Why don't you go back and think about it? So that's a form of walking away. Don't cut off the negotiation. So, Mr. Tai, you should go back right now and think about it. I don't think the owner is going to accept this offer. I think you need to rethink about it. Is this the right property for you? You throw it back to them, or you throw it back to the buyer, seller. Say, Mr. Seller, I think this is the right buyer for you, but if you think it's not right for you, why don't you go back and think about it and see how many buyers that potentially may come up after this, right? So this is what you need to do as an agent. You got to be smart right now, right? Okay, back to you.
Okay, John, good point about that. This is what we call keeping your commission or keeping your fee out of the negotiation. And this is what we covered in our Ignite class on lesson number 10 on negotiation. So in the class, we teach them 10 points that you need to keep in mind when you do negotiations. And one of it is that keep your fee out of the negotiation. And the second one is that keep your emotions out of the negotiation. All right. So more on that later on. If you are in if you are with KW Malaysia, then you can sign up for the Ignite class to learn further about negotiation. So another one on the buyers' beliefs, wait for more homes to come on market. So this is what they think, because probably earlier they have seen many properties coming into the market, and they think as they wait more will come into the market. Not necessarily so, because even in a downshift, there are buyers in the market. Buyers will buy and homes will be taken off from the market, and there will not necessarily be more homes coming into the market. So it's a myth, actually, if they say that they want to wait for more homes to come into the market. So they may think that he may not be able to get a loan. So this is where you come in and find them a very good loan package, right? So you can get the help of our bankers, mortgage loans officers, to help you come up with a better loan package to help them get a loan, okay? So great time to invest in real estate. Yes, some buyers will believe that this is a great time to invest in real estate. And for you, for your information, there are these kind of buyers where they wait and save and wait for this kind of time, this kind of market to come in to buy properties. And so it's not true that there will be no buyers. There will be buyers, and there are these kind of buyers that is waiting for this time and waiting for this opportunity. All right? Great time to buy, and this is the right time to buy. Show them the opportunities. What are the opportunities that they can have, and what are the ones that are good buy for them. All right. So opportunity mindset. This is an article wrote by Gary Keller after the September 11 incidents, and the market was really going down on a downshift. And that was what John was talking about just now, and when I showed a graph on a cyclical chart. And this is when he wrote this article, and to give guidance that is relevant to that market then, it is still relevant to the market now, because market shift is a normal thing, all right? It's not an end of the world, it's not something new, it's a cyclical thing. So what's your opportunity mindset here? Market shift is a way of life, right? It's a way of life. Just that you need to accept the fact that you may not sell the property as fast as you want. You may not get so many buyers in the market as many as you want, but there are still transactions and life still goes on. All right, it's just another way of life. You just have to change your lifestyle, change your behavior, change your strategy. Markets are always in transition. So we covered that. We have seen that the market goes up and down. It's a cyclical thing, and property markets are the same. All right. So the myth is that market determines your success, which is not true. And some people will say, oh, since we are on a downshift, there's nothing much we can do. Just sit back and wait out the situation. No. If you are doing that, then you are allowing the market to determine your success and your failure. And so people who are believing in that kind of thing will have their business going up and going down, going up and going down, just like together with the cycle of the property market, right? But that is not true. You can get out of that kind of cycle with new strategies and new efforts. All right, people buy and sell in all markets. We've covered that. Down markets tend to have fewer great deals and those that are sell fast. All right, so down markets you can still have deals. You still have great deals, but just that it's fewer. All right, so you just have to fight harder for those great deals, and those are the ones that sell faster. So in an up market, proactive or reactive lead generation will work, all right? But in a down market, only proactive lead generation will work, all right? So you got to acquire the habit of doing proactive lead generation. Proactive gives you the control, give you the give you the control over the market, over the situations, because you are doing it like what John says, way before it happens, way before the market really goes down. So you are doing it on a regular basis, consistently, being proactive in the lead generation. That will help you tide over your downshift. All right. So reactive is when you need it, you don't have enough listings, then you go out and do lead generation to get some listings. That's being reactive. And when the market is down, you do a reactive lead generation. It will not help you much.
Hey, William, there's a quick question here from Linda on KW Indonesia. Can you elaborate what's a proactive lead generation?
All right, I just did. Proactive is meaning that you do it on a consistent basis and you do it way before it really happens, way before the downshift. So that means now we are in a kind of situation where we're going to see that the economy is going to going into a recession. All right. So that would directly affect the property market as well. It's going to be on downshift. And so then to prepare for that kind of market, you now do double down, increase all your marketing activities, increase all your lead generation. And so what Gary Keller is saying that if you've been doing 2 hours of lead generation, now you need to increase it to 4 hours of lead generation. That's big.
Yeah. So basically, it's just getting on a phone and calling more people, talking to more people, having more relationship with more people, telling them, hey guys, there's a shift coming, there's an opportunity coming. Would you be ready? What are you looking for? So kind of like for example, right now, if you are at home right now and you would, if you are a normal buyer or seller right now in your head, you would already can anticipate without a shadow of a doubt that we are going to see a correction in the market right now. We're going to see that the market is going to be slowing down, right? All can agree in that, right? Now, that's when you tell them, hey guys, the market is right now for an opportunity to buy something. Would you be interested to look at? What are you interested to look at? So you go into the market right now, you start calling everyone in your database and start asking them that question. Maybe, and you heard some of our trainings yesterday where we have a guy called Jonathan San, where he said that he called 100 people to get one appointment. Now, if he wants to double that up, he has to call 200 people. That's proactive lead generation. You got to go in there and be proactive and tell people what's going to happen ahead of the market. Not tell them what they know right now, but tell them what they're ahead of the market. So I think that's where you need to focus more on the proactive lead generation. Does that help to answer that question, Linda? I think that's what we are looking at right now. All agents, you got to get, what you do is right now, you carry your phone and you better have a huge power bank because you're going to run out of battery. Right, you're going to text. I was on a coaching call with an agent, a capping agent, just last week, I think. And yeah, right, be fast, you're absolutely right. I was on a coaching call with her, and she's time blocking her Fridays to make 4,000 WhatsApp messages out. 4,000 messages out to follow up with a customer. That's proactive lead generation. That's really you going to find them, you knocking on people's door. If you're looking for listings right now, you should be calling up everyone in that apartment block. You should be calling up everyone in the neighborhood. You should be calling up all your clients who have bought property from you in that area and start asking, hey, are you interested to sell? Hey, are you interested to sell? That's what you need to do. If you want market share, especially in the secondary market, you better have enough listings to show people around. I always tell agents, if you don't have listings that is higher price, you cannot showcase listing that is lower price. What is low must be differentiated by what is high. There you go, 100 double up. Thank you very much. So back to you, William. Sorry, I just wanted to use that opportunity to share some of this insight.
All right, thanks, John. So we have to be proactive, because if you have been reactive and in a slow market, in a downshift market, it will expose all your weaknesses if you have been doing all this while doing a reactive lead generation. All right. So again, double down in all your lead generation. So in a market shift, new strategies are required. What are the new strategies that you need to require? You need to acquire? So definitely you need to relook at the way you do your business. Some of the areas that you've been covering, some of the areas that you've been focusing on, the market may have shifted there. And so you got to move on to other markets. The buyers may not be looking at that anymore. So in a shift market, you may find some new kind of buyers that are coming into the market, all right? And you need to, in America, we call it double down. Double up, double down is the same. You know what it means, double up your effort, all right? So in a shift market, you need to change your strategies, and therefore you need to be able to find the right niche, find the right market, find what is changing in the market. And in a shift market, there will be new kind of buyers that comes into the market. And like what I mentioned just now, some buyers are have been saving money and waiting for this time to come into the market. So these could be your new buyers, all right? And so new strategies got to be required to face a new market. So adopt opportunity mindset. Look for opportunities. You got to be paying more attention to opportunities. In a good market, in an up market, anything you do will most likely work. And I've been always telling my agents, if you've been doing well in an up market, it's not necessarily so that you are good or you are skillful, right? It's just that the market is good. Anything you throw into the market, it sells. But in the downshift and in the slow market, this is where your skills are really exposed, right? If you are weak in your selling, if you're weak in your negotiation, if you're weak in talking about pricing, these are the times that your skills will be exposed, right? So find an opportunity. Look for opportunities where the market is moving, where the market is growing. Seek only motivated buyers and sellers. Yes, definitely, because we are on a low volume if we are going into a downshift, and therefore we want to work on motivated buyers and sellers. If the seller, you hear a lot from the sellers when the market is good, they'll tell you, oh, I'm not in a hurry to sell. If they are not motivated, forget it, move on to the next one. We have to be fast with it. Find and work only on motivated buyers and sellers.
I just want to add one more thing. Sorry, I'm interrupting here, neighbors. I thought I saw a lot of pockets. I hope you all don't mind me interrupting the presentation a little bit here, neighbors. I think there are a lot of pockets of things that I can insert here so that I think all of us get the best value out here. Now, in this opportunity mindset right now, we've got to think how to do things that our competitors won't be doing. So I'll give you an example. Someone just texted me, and this is a good example, asking about WhatsApp blasting and all that. And I wanted to share, and I want to thank that person. Thank you, Mr. Steele, for asking me that question. This is a good opportunity for me to share this. WhatsApp blasting, it's a mass blasting that everyone is doing even during the peak market, correct? So that's something that everyone is going to do because it's easy.
Yeah.
What is unexpected if you go into the market right now and do personalized message and text them personally, customize for that. I give you an example. Hey, John, thank you very much. I remember you bought something from me 3 years ago. I'm just checking in right now in your area. how are you doing in your home? Are you looking to expand or know how? Just to let you know right now, there is a market value in this market is still holding right now. I just want to let you know, in case you're interested to sell or buy something else, I'm here to help you look at the opportunity. When you connect this person back personally, based on the experience he or she has with you, you build better relationship. Oh, that was the agent that got me that good deal 3 years ago. I totally forgot about her. And it's normal for people to forget about you because so many things going on in their lives. Do not expect everyone to remember you forever. It's not going to happen. But when you remind them through a personalized message, this is that opportunity, guys. Don't go in and do what other agents are doing, mass blasting, mass messaging. When you see a mass message right now, what would you do? Now, put on the chat box right now. If you see someone blasting mass message to you right now, as a client, if you are the recipients of that mass message, how would you feel? What would you do? Please write in the chat box right now. You will ignore. Absolutely. So one of the things that I want to teach you right now, and someone, Emily says she will block. There you go. So do not send broadcast message to Emily because she will block you.
I will too.
Lana said he will block and delete you guys. So what you need to do is you go into that personal message and you curate that message for them. Right, there you go. Someone is asking, how about new agents? When you are new agents, it is the best time to call or message your sphere of influence and say, hey, I'm new in this industry. I'm looking for things to practice on. I'm looking for opportunities. Can I have that privilege and honor to serve you right now? That's a script for you in the new agent, right? So customize that message, build that relationship, because once you build that relationship, you begin to potentially have the opportunity to add value, serve. That's right, absolutely right. You are there to serve, right? Thank you. Go on.
All right, John, thank you. John is not interrupting because I asked him to jump in anytime with questions or comments so that it will be more interactive and it will not be boring that I'm the only guy talking. All right, no worries, John. So next one, price ahead of the market. Do not chase market. Well, like I said, we've been on the downshift and we've been on the buyer's market for the past 2-3 years. And what a lot of agents do is that they do not know how to talk to sellers on pricing. And so what they do is they always they always go with the price that the seller wants, put it into the market, try it for 3 months, and then come back and say, oh, no buyer, so we need to revise the price, reduce another 10,000, put it back into the market, and then coming back again and go in and forth. I have seen properties, agents selling properties this way, and the property took about 1 year or even 1 year or and a half to finally got sold, even though the seller was willing to go down on price. But unfortunately, that kind of process is chasing down the market. You are chasing the market price, which is definitely outdated. By the time you decide you come back to revise the price, the market has already gone down further. So you got to price ahead of the market. All right. Next, make condition of listing stand out in your competition. So there will be more selling. There will be more people selling the same with a similar kind of listings that you have, and those are competitions. So how to make yourself or your listing stand out? Of course, the condition of the listings is important. The terms of the sale is important, right? So one way to be to stand out from your competition is condition of your listings, right? Make sure that the condition of the house is good, the terms of the sales are good, the pricing are good, all right? Motivate buyers with sense of urgency. I can tell you, we have covered that just now. Buyers will come in with the mindset that they have a lot of time and they can take their own time to buy, which is not true. Again, the same information that they have to get them into the market now, the same information is available to thousands of other buyers, and they will also think likewise that this will be a good time to come into the market to buy. So it's not true that they are the only buyer in the market, right? So you got to motivate them, give them, show them the opportunities that they have, and give them the sense of urgency. Qualify and convert leads quickly, all right? So this is a good time to really look at leads and make sure that your conversion rate is good and conversion rate is high. All right. So as leaders and as platform owners, this is very important to you. All right. Because if you don't maintain the conversion rate or even increase the conversion rate, you're going to lose sales and you're going to lose market share. This is one thing you need to watch out for. All right. So that's the strategy required in the market shift. And next one is catch and convert leads on the web. Of course, now you have social media and all that. You can use those to catch and convert those leads, especially on the buyers. Find out where market is and get it in. All right, I covered that. Look for opportunities. Where are the markets moving now? Where are the ones that are not moving? Get out of there, move on to another place or another location or another market. Right? Do more with less expenses, with services and people. Now is the time for you to quickly cut down on all your expenses that are not giving you the results. Right? In US, even top agents are cutting out their CRM program. They are moving into command. They are using command to do their CRM, to do their touches. These are the ways to help them cut their expenses. Some are saying they are cutting off Netflix. They are cutting off some other music streamings. Hey, those are, to the Americans, are only a few dollars, but it makes a lot of sense when you come to the end of the year, when you do your budget. It makes a lot of difference. All right. So now is the time for you to cut down on your expenses. This is one way, one of the strategy that you need to use. And of course, services, increase your services, improve your customer service. All right. Find a better way to improve the sales process. Find a better way to serve your customers in the way that you've been serving them. All right. See how to improve. And this is one way to fight your competitor to gain market share. All right. And the people that you work with, if they are not keeping your standards, you got to either train them up or move them on. Okay. Learn alternative financing options. We touch on that. We are very fortunate to have panel bankers who are willing to come forward to help us with all this, and we can get a hand from them. All right. So we touched on the theory of equilibrium just now. In short, it means to say that in the seller's market, when the market is on the up, you will have an increase in agents. Agent count increases. There will be more people coming in to join the real estate agents during the real estate industry, because market is good and they are selling, and they may not require a lot of great skills. But in the seller's market, in the buyer's market, where the market is on a downtrend, where the market is more challenging, and then that's when agent counts start to decrease, right? Especially those who can't make it, who don't have enough skills and competency to be in the market, they will opt out, they will move out. No wonder when I call some of those advertisements from iProperty or Property Guru, I call their phones, no one replied. No one pick up the call. Probably they have left the market. All right. Big opportunity for those with stamina, with skills, and adapted, improve the business practices. Right. So you need the stamina. You need to double down all your effort. Instead of making 2 hours, now you have to put in 4 hours of lead generation. So you need to have those kind of stamina to make 100 calls, 200 calls, to double up or whatever effort that you'll be doing. Then you need the kind of skills and competency to be able to keep you afloat to face the market. How to deal with buyers who are taking their own sweet time. How to deal with sellers who are not coming to reality with their pricing. And you need to adapt, change your behavior, change the way you do your business, right? Improve your business practices. And this is how the kind of mindset that you need to have when you're coming into a new market.
Hey, can I just pause here and just ask everyone on the chat box, if you know that this is the shift and the mindset you need to have, why don't you share in the chat box? What are some of the things that you can do right now that is creatively going to reach out to more people on your own? What can you do right now? Anyone to share something so that we can learn from each other as well. What can you do to have more engagement and more conversation with people about the market right now or your clients right now? How can you get more leads right now? Reconnect old database, okay. What are the activities that you can do right now to reconnect database that it's maybe you can see more people, you can bring more people? Personalize my conversation, absolutely true. What else? Anything else? Personal touch, always go to them. What else? Okay, call our client. What else? Call your leads, touch base with friends. Let me give you a suggestion right here, right now. Carrying messages that I knew also get referrals. Let me give you a suggestion right now. If you are in this, especially when you're in the secondary market right now, right? If you are in an area or you're focused in that area, this is the right time to potentially invite them on a call. How can we support each other during this COVID-19? Do a call, do a Zoom call, invest in a Zoom account, send invitation to your clients. How can we sit down and talk about the economy and talk about this shift? How can we have conversations for the next 30 minutes? Let's just sit down and let's discuss what can we do better. You know what? Especially you can gather SME owners right now. How can we sit down and see what can we do about our business together as a conversation? Everybody may be open. I just got a call from a developer yesterday. John, can you all be on a call with us to see how can we work together and see how can we do work on this current market situation? And then they make an appointment to see me at 2:30 in the Zoom call with a few other agents as well, and sit down and let's have a conversation. This is the right time to be connected creatively, virtually as well. Messaging is one thing because everyone is sending message. Do something very different. Send them a video text. Send them an opportunity to be connected with other people within the community as well. So these are the things that you can bring value to the marketplace. Sorry, back to you, William.
All right. So these are the mindset again, looking for opportunities. And if you want to take advantage of the current situation, you need to have stamina, skills, adapted, and improve your business practices. So when the market shifts downwards, time to reach equilibrium is what? So, sorry. Oops, okay. Let me get this off. Time to reach equilibrium is unknown. So what he's saying is that a lot of buyers say they want to wait until the market has gone down to the bottom, until the market is bottom out, then they'll buy. But the problem is when the market bottoms out, it goes out very fast. That's why it's called an equilibrium reach. It's like a pendulum when it's swinging. When it goes down to the bottom, it goes up very fast. It doesn't stay there. So that's why the market is like that. So if a buyer is waiting for the market to bottom down, he will miss the market because he will not know when the market has bottomed out. And by the time he knows it, the market would have already shifted up. Right? This is what it means. So when market shift down, time to reach equilibrium is unknown. You wouldn't know when. In 1988, my boss transacted a property of 25 million. He sold an office building. 25 million was very high then, you know. And the press interviewed the buyer, who was a Singaporean, and asked him, why you decide to buy now when everybody is thinking that the market has not bottomed up yet? And you know what he said? You wouldn't know when the market is going to bottom out. So the time to reach the equilibrium is always unknown, because by the time you know, it would have already shifted up, right? So this is what you can tell the buyers, if they have this kind of mindset, all right? So wait it out, it will be over soon, and this is definitely a myth. You don't have to wait, because there are transactions, there are buyers and sellers, even in a downshift market. The truth is that face the market, adapt as needed, find for the opportunities, right? So this is how you move into this kind of market with commitment on a daily basis, with commitment to yourselves, to your business on a daily basis, and be consistent. Be consistent in what you do and reduce your expenses. So these are the strategies that you should use in the downshift market opportunities mindset. All right. So when market shift downwards, time to reach equilibrium is unknown. In a downshift market, it's time for all hands on deck. That means you got to roll up your sleeves, put in all your hands and your legs into the business to work on it. All right. Work on what? Prospecting. Prospecting, part of lead generation. You got to double down, put in double your effort to do your prospecting, converting all those appointments to the contracts, and make it very fast and control your cost. Right? So these are kind of opportunity mindset that you should have. Change your strategy, change your business practices. On the negotiation part, this is very important. That's why I told you the story just now where I went into the meeting with my agent to do a negotiation on an offer that was brought in by the buyer. In terms of these kind of situations, in this kind of market, you need to keep an eye on the conversion, all right, from negotiations to close. So if you need to, as a leader, as a platform owner, as a coach, you may need to go in with your agents to do the negotiation because it's very crucial. It is very important, and it doesn't come on an every hour basis. All right. So you may have to do that, roll out your sleeve and go down to it. Customer service. This is the time for you to relook at your customer service, improve it, find ways to improve your customer service to be able to attract and retain your customers, and so that they will also become your advocate of your services. Right? This is very important if you want to gain market share. Right? So your role as an opportunity warrior is, one, have a plan. Know what you should do all times. Know what you should do on a daily basis. In other words, everything should be on the calendar. And from now until 3 months' time, what you need to do should be on the calendar. It should not be on your to-do list. Move your to-do list, shortlist your to-do list, move it to success list, and from success list, move it to your calendar. And so from there, you will see what you need to do on a daily basis. Know your strengths, leverage them, and execute them, all right? Find out what are the things that you need to improve and use your strength to leverage. Delegate tasks that you don't do well, all right? Okay. This is an opportunity warrior affirmation. Let's take out your phone and take a snapshot of these slides, or take a screenshot of these slides. And this warrior affirmation says, I am an opportunist, and this is an opportunity. I am a market maker and will create my own market in these conditions. I am ready and able and willing. I'm a knowledgeable real estate consultant. I understand the big picture. I am a professional guiding clients through the process. Sellers need me more than ever to get a sale. Buyers need me more than ever to get the best price. All right, so this is the affirmation you can use to affirm yourself on a daily basis. So, any questions?
Hey, William, can you go back to that screen about that opportunity warrior? There you go. I think this is something that you guys need to kind of meditate upon every single day. It's very difficult doing this alone. It's very difficult thinking about this alone. You've got to be in a community. You've got to be in a environment that is thinking the same thing, and it will help you this way. You cannot change the situation or outcome around you, but you can change the people that you spend time with right now. You can do that. You can change the environment that you are in, where people are in that like-mindedness of wanting to take advantage of this shift and want to do double down. Because if you go back to the environment and everyone is not doubling down, you will not double down. Because there is a limitation to that ability to have that small, strong will. There's a limitation. But if you group up together, if you start your community right now, you guys should be doing your own personal community Zoom calls right now with your agents that is in certain areas, and you all need to do this right now. So I really think that you need to think through how can you be in a community or be in an organization where, or an environment where you guys are all doing this together. You should be done daily together, weekly together, because this is how you are going to stay strong in this shift. This is how you are going to do well in this shift. You cannot do this alone. For many, many years, I told the real estate fraternity, you cannot do this alone. You cannot do this business alone. You cannot be afraid that people will steal your business, steal your leads, and all. You cannot have that mindset right now. You've got to think about how to do this together. You've got to think about how to rate together, go together in this and rally each other every morning, every day, so that you are able to face the challenges on that day. Doing together is critical. Being part of a group is critical. And it's a support group. So form your own communities. Don't wait for us to form for you. Form for your own communities right now. I know of some people are grouping together every evening, 7 p.m. They are talking in a Zoom 30 minutes to say, hey, what are you doing now? What's your double down today? And you will have bad days. And when you have bad days, go together and talk about it. Talk about your challenges. I'm feeling very tired right now. Talk about that challenges. Talk about your struggles as well, because that's important, because the struggle and the challenges is very real. People say, should we be negative? It's not about being negative. The ability to declare that you are struggling is a strength itself. The Bible says, let the weak say, I am strong. Because when you are able to declare that you are struggling, then you are looking for opportunity to change and opportunity to improve. That's when you get stronger. It is that realization that you need help. That's important. So I'm just encouraging everyone here, not be alone in this session. Join the session like this. Aren't you all feeling pumped up right now after this session today? Whoever is pumped up, say yes. Aren't you encouraged from yesterday and today? How would you feel if you are not part of this conversation? Where would you be in terms of your emotions right now? Right? You'll be struggling alone, right? So this is where we would not want to stop this, right? You need to pump up. You don't struggle alone. You are going to struggle together, and then you will thrive together. That's what we want you all to be, a community. We are best when we are in a community, right? You got to keep going. You got to see opportunities. You got to see good examples. Share your stories. Share your struggling stories. Share your success stories, because these are going to tell people that they are not alone. Sometimes we feel that we are the only ones struggling, but when you hear someone else struggling at the same time, it encourages us to go on, because this is the norm that's happening right now. You've got to huddle together all day long, right? This is very important. Doing a daily huddle is critical. Check in with your friends, check in with your colleagues, check in with the people in your market center, right? Now you notice that all our market center support is sending you messages daily. Am I right? How many of you are receiving the messages from your market center support daily right now? Say yes. There you go. So we are telling the market center support to support you daily, to send you links, to send you opportunities, to send you reminders daily, so that you are all connected, right? So that's what we want to do right now. The market center support is still working very, very hard so that you guys are connected and you guys are in this together. Because if we are together, right, and we are affirming all of us together, we will have the best chance to proceed and thrive in this shift market, right? I just want to encourage everyone that this is not something that you are alone. We are with you together as a team. And not only that, the people in KW in the US and all around the world. We have Linda here today. He's inviting all his friends to come on here so that we are rallying this together, right? We are rallying this together so that we can go forward and not step back. The goal is to go forward and go onward and not step back. I was on a message call with the regional director of Mexico, KW, Andreas, who reached out to one of our colleagues, Sing Fei, from Mexico, and he offered, hey, John, I see that you guys are doing a lot of training. Do you want me to support you in training? I want to train you guys. That's someone from Mexico reaching out to us and say, yes. I say, definitely, Andreas, you're one of the leading regions in the KW regions. He said, I want to support you guys right now. So we are part of a big family. I just want you all know that we are now part of this global family that is supporting one another through these tough times. And there's so much expertise, so much content, so much experience to support all of us, right? Is there any questions about this tactic one, mind over matter from anyone? Anyone got any questions or any ahas that you want to share with us? Anyone? It's okay to own up to your struggles. Absolutely. Absolutely okay. Anyone? Anyone else? The real estate game is a team game, not a solo game. Absolutely. We are not alone. You are not alone, Linda. We are all here with you. How about viewing? Sorry, I didn't get that question. Who is that? M? Who is M? Sorry, I need to see who is M. How about viewing? Okay, can I ask you to clarify what do you mean? How is viewing? Are you saying that how do we do viewing right now? Oh, got it. So go do virtual viewing, right? Call your owners. Your owners is not Mahathir. And your virtual viewing can be done right now because technically there is, especially for those owners who have people staying in the house, one of the things that you can do very creatively is to get them to take pictures and video walkthrough with you and in a conference call so that you are able to showcase the whole house, right? And then keep that video and send that video out to all your prospects right now who are actually able to what do you call that, see it on their WhatsApp or on their video on their phone so that they can have some virtual viewings done. We are thinking about seeing how can we look at some technology vendors to look at some potential virtual viewings opportunities right now. But I think that will be just a short period of time. I think once we pass that, we will probably be having physical viewings again. Keep your emotion out of negotiation. Absolutely right. Making you aware of situation right now. Market share is the way of life. Absolutely. Keep your emotion out. We've got this question here. Are people buying without seeing the actual property? Well, if you are buying a new property from a developer, you don't see the actual property, right? It's an opportunity for you to follow up and send them opportunities. Now, if you are sending an opportunity to an investor right now, what matters to an investor, especially for investors, is that the numbers must matter, right? Get your numbers right when you're sending things to investors. If the investors are really ready to buy and you have done the need analysis with them, all that matters is the numbers, right? So this is some of the things that you should be doing. Is the market after COVID going to be like 2013, 2015? I think it'll be very different. I think this crisis or this situation that we are in, it's totally unprecedented. And not only it's a Malaysian thing, it is actually a global thing. So you've got to be an open mind and not think like what would happen last time will happen now. I think something new. We never had a moratorium for loans before. Never. We never had we have a budget. Let me tell you this. We had a budget, government budget that was presented, tabled in Parliament last year, October, when the oil price was $60 per barrel. Right now it's $20 per barrel, meaning the government revenue is dropping by 60-70%. Meaning that budget doesn't make sense anymore. It won't work this year. So we don't know what's going to happen after this. And I think there was a article, regional team remind me to post this article in the workplace about how there was a write-up by the analyst advising the government that the stimulus package we need right now is 95 billion ringgit, right? So these are some of the things that is unprecedented that's happening in our market, right? How long is this shift? I really don't know. I really can't tell you. The goal is not to focus on the time. The goal is to prepare for the worst, right? I'm preparing you guys for the worst, and in order for you to prepare for the worst, you got to double down right now. It could be a good 1 year or so, or 6 months. But I think logically, technically, from a market shift down with a spike so low, dropping so fast, gapping down so fast, you might see some gapping up fast as well. So I give you an example. I think one of the key business that will thrive right after MCO is the hairstylists and the barbershops. How many of you here right now are desperate for a haircut?
Me.
I am desperate. I have to change my hairstyle, which I'm so uncomfortable, right? Yes, I'm looking like a monkey already. You're absolutely right. Right. So if you are in the haircut business right now, the next 3 to 4 months you are recovered because you will be cutting hairs like mad. Now that's a good advantage. That's a good opportunity. If you partner with a hairstylist right now and say, you know what, I'm going to give free haircuts to all my clients right now to come and see me, so that they will go to the barber shop and have a seminar with me. You might get calls. There you go. So that's where you see that there will be that opportunity for a rebound in certain businesses faster than the rest, right? So we don't know, because it is so drastic. The dip is so drastic that we have not experienced this before. So rather than figuring out how is it like previously in 2013-15, I would say go for the worst case scenario and work through that way. If banks will reduce the margin due to market fall, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the margin of financing? Potentially, yes, but our central bank is quite aggressive right now. Their stand in terms of monetary policy has been seen very, very aggressive right now. Because if they are not aggressive enough, there is not enough liquidity in the market. If they stop the loans and they increase interest rate overnight, what they will see is no transaction going on, no money floating in the market. I don't see that happening. And we have a government right now politically that is, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And if they allow that to happen, you know, politically, there's some implication there. So I think this is the place at the time that we have never expected what to expect. But expect something that will be very drastic, right? That's why Shift Tactic 2 talks about cutting expenses. In your business, cutting expenses. There you go. Any other questions? Am I missing any question? Virtual assistants, can you please highlight to us if there's any questions that we are missing out?
All good.
Yeah, did I cover everyone's questions? Any ahas? Make the most out of the current scenario to reach out creatively. You are absolutely right. Give your customer a free haircut coupon. It's easy. Work with a hairstylist. Every business right now need opportunity to make business. I recently got one of this is an opportunity. Here's an opportunity. I think right now there is a need for us to show care and love to our frontliners right now. The people who are fighting the COVID-19 battle in the front line, they need more help. They need some touch from all of us. So we are thinking in our team right now, and I know my team is not ready for this right now, but we are thinking about how can we support the frontliners. And this is an opportunity for you to get all your clients involved as well. And you know what? For $10 a meal, we could support this hospital's frontliner in Klang Valley right now. Right, so get all your clients together, pool the funds coming. We want to organize something like that. We are thinking about organizing something like that. We want to make effort to help our community right now to support the people in the front line, because they are the one that is fighting the battle, and it's not the best winning battle to be in. And we want to encourage them. We want to show love and care for them for fighting that battle on our behalf. So these are some of the things that we want to do as an organization as well. This is something you can do with your clients as well. How can we pull together a fund where we could support for the next 2 weeks, every lunch is paid for this hospital.
John, we have a question from Jason Chiu.
Yeah, Jason, go ahead. What's the question?
He's just wondering, share market is different from property market. Will property market rebounds? It was known our supply has been more than demand previously before COVID-19, and we still have high unsold units in market. Will property rebounds? The question from investor.
Thank you, Jason. To answer your question, the share market is a very liquid market. And the share market is probably the first indication of how the economy is, right? That's the share market. It's very liquid. The property market is also an indication of the economy, but property market is called what? It's an illiquid market, right? It's also an imperfect market because we don't know how many buyers, how many sellers are there in the market. So what you will see potentially in the property market would be a major correction, because I think in the Malaysian market is not sophisticated enough. The data is not clear and not good enough to help people see where we are. So what I think potentially we will see is those overzealous location. For example, those who are always borrowing names, the Damansaras here, the Bangsas here, and all that. All those locations who are not equipped with good fundamentals may see a decline in terms of their property, and it will. So, for example, if you go to this place called Bukit Beruntung, has that location recovered at all? Anyone? Say yes or no.
No.
You know where is Bukit Beruntung?
Tak beruntung lagi.
That place is very tak untung one. It's never recovered because why? The fundamentals is wrong. It didn't have the right fundamentals. It was overly speculated, right? So you will see that happening right now. There are certain things that will happen where certain markets without right strong fundamentals, right? The market is going to adjust by itself. Yes, you will see certain supply will take a long time to recover. Certain supply will see that it will always be overhung until it comes to a point where eventually the market absorbs it. But I think you will see the shift in terms of how developers start thinking about their property. They should start thinking. If the developer don't shift, the developer may not be in business anymore. So I think you will see that certain location will continue to thrive after the shift, and certain location will be different. So the market becomes sophisticated. It is not a one rule or one way going for all, right? So this is where I think it will happen. So I think the recovery will be very different. The way recover in the property market will focus on specific location where the fundamentals are there. One of the best thing is people will start learn their lesson. Hey, don't be too overzealous about places and be over speculative. You will see those speculation people getting smarter right now, right? So this is where there are more opportunities for us to understand which market, and that's where you and I become the expert to explain to them, have conversations with them. You will see a recovery in the market, in the property market, but I think not for every area. Right, and the time and all that is very difficult to tell, because first the stock market and the businesses in the economy must do well first, because the property is like if the economy affects the property, not the property affects the economy. The time when the property affects the economy, then you will have a problem. How about market in Bangi? Maybe I should do a training about market analysis right now. Would you all come for a training if it's market analysis? There you go. Awesome. Thank you for being so reactive to all our commercial. Yeah, we need to cover commercial shift too. You're right. Commercial probably will be a good opportunity to go into the market right now, because in a commercial market, right, people are looking to shift. There are three things that will happen in commercial market or industrial market. Three things that will happen. Number one, they will either upsize. Number two, they will either downsize. Number three, they will be out of business. Three things will happen in the commercial and industrial market. Commercial industry is linked because they are both about business, right? In this season, they will either upsize, downsize, or they will close out. And if you are in the commercial industrial market, you are going to make a lot of money these 2 years if you focus on connecting and talking to people. One of the things that you can do is call up every single company in KLCC who is renting an office, and you ask them, are you ready to upsize or downsize? You will have a business if you are diligent to do that right now, because that's the natural thing that will happen. In all market shift, the commercial sector of the businesses will be the first one to face challenges. Am I right?
Yeah.
There you go. So this is where you need to go out there and start having that conversation right now. There are three things: either they upsize, downsize, or they close down. Three things to happen only. It's very simple. It's not complicated. But if you put effort to start having conversations to see how can you help them, that's where your business is. That's where your opportunity is. If you now are able to help negotiate for your tenants a reduction in rental, even the malls are giving reduction in rental right now. Right? I just saw a notice from some of the malls that they're giving some reduction to rental right now. And there's some business that are thriving right now, they need to increase. You just saw how the glove company or the face mask company, they are expanding their business right now. I think if you're in the US right now, if you want to add value to this company called Zoom, who is a virtual provider, the technology provider like this right now, everyone in the world right now, they're using Zoom. Are they going to expand their business? Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is the opportunity for you to find that opportunity in the shift, right? Yeah, so suddenly it become a stock market conversation. You guys are buying stocks right now. Right, so yeah, so that's the opportunity. I have one of my favorite steak restaurant called Maria Steakhouse. Please support them. They're my favorite steak restaurant. They're now calling all their clients. The steak restaurant is calling all the clients right now and asking them, hey, for 30% discount, I would deliver the steak to you right now. Even the steak restaurant is lead generating, guys. They're sending me WhatsApp messages, sending me the latest menu. Hey, I've got this grain fat, what do you call that? Black Angus ribeye, buy 2 free 1. Buy 3 free 1. YU is buy 3 free 1. They are trying their very best to lead generate and reach out to me. Guys, if those people are doing it, we should be doing it right now as well. We are not stopping, right? So,
right.
So yeah, Maria Steakhouse, please support them. Please support them. I don't want them to close down. Did I buy? No, I'm cutting my costs, so I'm not buying, but I'm asking you to buy so that they can stay in business. There you go. Yeah. Is there any more questions, any more ahas that we can share?
All right, John, we got still a few more slides to cover.
Oh, sure. Go ahead, William.
Okay, let's move on. Now to how to face the market, master your skills. So what are the things that you need to focus on? Focus on the basics. So if you are with KW, we will say again, what is your one thing that you need to do, that so that by doing that, all the others will seem easy or unnecessary. What is that one thing? Of course, lead generation. So talking about lead generation, now you need to reorganize your database. You need to review all your clients and maybe even review all your tags on your database and make sure that they are relevant to the current market. All right. So assess your skills and look for ways to improve. And again, we covered on that just now: negotiation skills, skills on talking about pricing, skills on talking to buyers on their mentality and their wait and see kind of mentality. Right. Those are skills that you need. Keep up with education, all right? Cut expenses, but don't cut your education. Education must go on because we are moving on to a new market. We need to continue to upgrade you if you want to break through in your performance, to break through the ceiling. So education is one of the ways to go. Be a student of the market. Always, every day, look into your market statistics. How many competitors are coming into the market? How many new listings are coming into the market? How many inquiries are you getting? All right. So I'm sure even with this lockdown time, people are browsing. People have more time to do browsing, going through the properties that they are looking for. And this will be a good time for you to put all your listings, your good listings, into the internet, into your portals, and start promoting it. And find how are they responding to it and what are they responding to. So always be a good student in the market, be a good communicator, all right? Of course, being a good communicator means listen first, talk later, all right? Understand the views of your clients, all right? And understand their situations. Good communication creates and develops good relationship. And so be a good communicator and use that as build these skills so that you'll be able to build a good relationship, all right? Lead generate 4 hours. We covered on that. Talk competently with sellers about pricing. So this is one skill that you need to develop so that you'll be able to talk to sellers on pricing, talk to buyers on pricing. Motivate buyers to buy, all right? You got to find their motivation. Yeah, like John says, not necessarily be always about pricing, but about the motivation behind, okay? Convert leads to appointments. And this is very important. And if it is not well done, if you are a team leader or a platform owner, this is what you need to look into, right? If you put someone who's not competent enough, not skillful enough to convert the leads into appointments, or even the leads from the appointments to sales, then you may have to retrain the person, or maybe move him on to somewhere else, all right? Or maybe you have to go in yourselves, roll up your sleeves and do it yourselves. All hands on deck. That's the way to go, all right? So I'll stop here, and I want you to take 1 minute to think about what improvements will benefit you. What are the improvements that you need to have from 1 to 8 that will benefit you? Key in the chat box, which number is yours? So what are the numbers that are coming in? I can't see the chat box.
5, 4, 8, a lot of 5s.
Yeah.
1 to 8. Someone said 1 to 8. I see a lot of repeats of 8s and 5s. There are 3s as well.
All right. So you are getting the lesson. Do the one thing. Do the thing. So that by doing that, everything else will be seem easy and unnecessary. Good lesson for you. Let me see the next slide. All right. The next skills that you need to do to develop is to be efficient and effective. We covered on that. Anything that's not working, cut it off. Anything that's not effective, cut it off. You want to be effective and efficient. Relook into your business practices. Relook into your structures. All right. Review everything with a critical eye. And this is very important because we are moving into a critical market. All right. Focus on your 20%. Systemize everything. If you can, systemize everything. If you are with KW, then you are very fortunate because everything is now moving on into technology where it is designed for agents and by agents. And lead generate for the 4-hour habit. Do it, double down, double down, double down. Convert leads and follow up on everything. All right. Manage your expenses. Know your numbers. Prioritize. Expenses, we covered that. Numbers means average selling price, number of units that are in the market, in your market, in your micro market, and prioritize whatever that you need to do, whatever that is important. And you need to do this on the daily basis. All right, we are done. Back to you, John.
Thank you very much. I think you guys do you say yes if you all have a good session today. Say yes. You learned something today. Awesome. I saw so much ahas. I just want to say that this is not the end. We are continuing to bring you great content for the next series. And it's not something that we will stop. Our goal is to keep going every single working day that we will have trainings and we have sessions like this, right? Let me share my screen right now to make sure that you can see what's going to happen today. Okay, can you all see my screen? Okay, today we are very fortunate to have MJ, who will be conversing with us in Mandarin to share his journey in real estate as well. MJ, by the way, is a high-performing agent. Now, let me just put a perspective here that whoever we invite to bring content to give you training is not someone that's just going to talk about theory, but that's someone that is already making that money, that have done the experience, that have coached people or help people make money, or they are already making that transaction right now. And MJ is going to join us from Penang live together with Natalie Tan, who will be interviewing him in Mandarin. And this is an absolute good opportunity for you to invite your friends or those who are Chinese speaking to understand how is he using the models for him in his market in Penang. At the same time, how is he sharing opportunities where we could leverage with him for some potential business opportunity in Penang. So I want to encourage everyone to sign up for this training and to have your friends or someone to learn from it, especially if you know those who are more inclined to Chinese speaking content. We want you to bring them here so that they get to hear the way that MJ is doing his business. It's really more of him sharing the way he's doing business, and he's a super high positive, high driven guy. I mean, his energy is higher than mine, so he will keep doing it, you know. So that's someone that you want to talk to and have that conversation with later today at 2:30. So this session is going on. We will not stop bringing sessions for you. Now, what will happen next week is I'm going to be talking about upshifting your lead generation. This is an absolute important session. This is where we will be talking about, together with George, how are we lead generating in this season? What should we do from a shift perspective in lead generation? I will be talking a little bit about the need analysis. Now, if you have not heard of that, I will be giving you some scripts. I will be talking about how can you have conversation with your clients right now, especially with owners, right? So this is something that I will work on with you. And then I think we have one more session on Tuesday, but on Tuesday, which is about Tactics 7, how to price your property. I missed that out in my slides. Okay, just want to share that if you're looking for those books right now, this is where you could get them. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to just copy that slide, or you could actually reach out by emailing us hello@readfield.com. Someone will respond to you and tell you how to get the books and all that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, is there any questions here? How to get the scripts? Join the training. Join the training. I will be doing scripts. So when you join the training on what do you call that, on Monday, we will be talking about it on Monday. So you need, it's the way I do it. I do training, or we do training in KW Malaysia. It's not to look at theories alone. It's to figure out what's the most practical way. And if you have joined us for the past 2-3 days, you will have experienced how we interact with each other from speaker to speaker, trainer to trainer. And we also bring other people who are in the business to kind of share their thoughts and their script as well. So scripts are actually something that I think eventually all of us must figure out from our own perspective. And probably on Monday, I will be covering a little bit about the DISC model, this model. How do you speak to people who are in the DI or S&C, right? So that's some of the things that we're trying to do right now, right? So any other questions or any other thoughts that you want to share? Yeah, if you can, go to our Facebook page, like us, so that you can receive information, so that you can receive the latest updates about our training program that's going on. Can someone type the link to our Facebook page here right now? There you go. Thank you, Wei-Li. So type that, click on that, like it, follow it, so that we will be sending you the best content. And you know what? If you think that you have something that you want to, what do you call that? You want to share, or you want to say, hey, you know what, John, I think you should do this training. Go ahead, go to our Facebook page, or if you're a refill agent, go to our refill happenings, post that there. Tell us what you need. We are an agent-centric company. We need to focus on how can we support the agents, give them what they need so that they thrive in their business. That's our goal. That's our perspective. And some of these trainings that you have are after us asking some agents, hey, what do you think you need, so that we could bring the best content to you. So these are some of the things that we are doing right now, and it has to be relevant so that it is for you as an agent, so you can use those and thrive. Okay, now if that's all for us today, we are out of time. I want to thank you very, very much. Thank you, William. Everyone give William a thumbs up right now for doing a great job. Right, give him a thumbs up right now, guys, for doing a good job for preparing all the slides and all the localization, and thank you. Give yourself a thumbs up. Thank you for what do you call it? Joining us and being so interactive and so participatory. Participation equals success. So thank you very much for participating. I will see you today at 2:30 on a different Zoom call to speak to MJ and how do you become a top performer like MJ. Thank you very much. You all have a good day right now.